I make more money now from my social media with a smaller following than I ever did with the account that had a much larger following.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to Where Brands Get Their Edge. If you are a founder, we've got the truth. If you're a marketer, we've got the tools. Today, we have Amanda's friends, Francesca and Zach from Florida, who are also in the business of making people look good, but not in the same way that we do. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Hi.
How are
Excited to be
you?
here.
Amanda, as I said, was very excited for you guys to join us. So no huge pressure. But tell us a little bit about yourselves and kind of what you guys are doing right now, and we'll go from there.
So funny enough, Zach and I are actually from the town over from each other, New Jersey, but we didn't meet till we both moved here to Florida about a year ago. So that,
Well, if
I think,
that's
is
not
just really-
serendipity, what is?
Yeah.
And
If
I don't
that's
think
not-
anybody knows what you do yet, so you might want to introduce.
Good one.
Right.
That way, have a good one. So we're hairstylists. So we're in the beauty industry, and we like making people look good, feel good, all that good stuff. And we recently have joined forces and started a little team between the two of us. And we've both been at this for a really long time, 10 plus years. And we just kind of started working together and building this new era for ourselves.
Well, and everyone who's been watching and following us for a bit knows I've been on this like beard hair journey. So that's why we have him on, is to talk about me. I'm just kidding.
It's a consultation, right?
This is actually a consultation.
We've had so many conversations about his haircuts and his facial hair. I can't even tell
Which
you.
I know you guys are like, what are we talking about? It's all like number 2 everywhere, but there's a lot of thought that goes into it.
Yeah. You really have your own Insta for just your facial hair.
My Insta's for everything. But tell us about, because like I feel like a year is good. Amanda and I knew each other for like 17 years before we like made it official. How'd you guys go like in a year from like, hey, this person's kind of good at their job to like, we should partner up?
I think it was like very like passive. We just kind of like waved at each other for like a whole year through like the windows, like no conversation at all. I like full sprung into like her moving into my studio all in one day at the end of the year. Kind of all just like fell into place really quickly. I had this space and I was looking for someone to come in, and I had interviewed like 8 people at that point. And each person, I was like, it's just like the vibe wasn't there, or the energy, or like the work ethic. And then once I like remember walking out my front door and I was like, God, please. I was like, I just need one good person. Just like one good person. And like an hour later, I'm like walking by Francesca's room, and like we finally had like this full on conversation for the first time like throughout the year. And she moved right in. And it was like perfect timing for everything.
And how long ago was that?
This is what now?
Like 3 months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Oh, it's
Crazy.
fantastic. Can't stand her. I don't know why she's
Literally within the first 20 minutes of me moving my stuff in here, we're planning we're literally going to Europe together in a month for like 2 weeks. Like
trip to Europe. We were like opening a salon.
like we're doing all these
ran a
things.
race together. You like ran.
Oh, we did. We ran a 5K together.
Stay together. We've done it all in the last.
We spent his birthday on a yacht together.
You guys went Georgia to Southern Florida real fast.
Yeah, we really went from 0 to 100 real quick.
So Amanda, tell us about you want to see up some of the social stuff you were excited that they're doing?
Well, sure, yeah. So first of all, I've been going to Fran for about 4 years now
So grateful.
and seeing her all.
That's why we're not critiquing her hair on here. It's obviously ready to roll.
Your hair looks amazing. It looks
That
so
was-
good. What do you mean?
That's what I was saying. It's amazing. It's beyond critique was my entire point.
And so I've watched, Francesca like grow from, she was in a whole other salon where she wasn't able to like, I feel, be her truest self and do all the things that she wanted to do. And I've just seen her evolve so much, her and her brand. And it's just interesting to see how this transition will go now that she's joining forces with Zach. And we can talk a little bit about that. But one thing that I noticed last time I was in there, you guys told me a story about how you get some of your business, and specifically how Zach will post reels on social media and get business direct from the street. Like people will walk in and just request hairstyles or cuts or whatever just from the reels. So tell me Tell me like at least one story about that.
I think that's probably like the coolest part about like learning social media and being like a small business owner is like once you finally get the hang of it and like it's almost like micro influencing is like what I finally realized that I can like post a reel and I'm like it was as simple as me styling my hair with some product and then within like an hour there was someone coming in to buy the exact same products that I had just posted and I was like okay cool so like without having like a huge reach or like huge following of 100,000 something people I might only have 1,600 followers, but those 1,600 followers are all people in my area.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
think
so
that's
the
a
reach of that is great.
Well, they're
common.
actually they seem to be they're paying attention, they're engaged, which is what's
Yeah,
people a lot of times they're most focused on how many followers they have, but it's really the engagement and the action that comes after the following that matters the most.
I used to have a much larger hair page when I was doing a lot of education and stuff, and I had lost that a while back. But with that, like 15,000 followers, I make more money now from my social media with the smaller following than I ever did with the account that had a much larger following.
Interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. I love that you said that because we try to really like drive that home with a lot of our clients. And sometimes they're still focused on the numbers of the number of followers instead of the engagement and the conversion, you know? So I love that you told that story.
Yeah, it's a common
Yeah.
misperception. Everybody wants more, like even I want more followers. Everybody wants more followers, but like unless you're selling like a $10 course that you need to just get as many bodies to sign up for as possible, or like a t-shirt or something, then it's probably not gonna help you, right? Like you need to find the right people, not the most people.
Yeah. The thing with social media too is that like the video Zach posted, what the situation we were just talking about, it was him. So it was this very simple video of just him styling his hair with a product.
I'm not gonna
And
lie, I was
then
surprised to hear that too. I was expecting like
yeah, like
someone comes in with like a shitty cut and he fixes it.
people just want to see you. Like they want to see us like
Exactly.
using what we use and just doing what we do. Like we get ready every single day. He does his hair every single day like that. So,
That's what I
Yeah.
realized. I don't know if you noticed the same thing. Is that instead of they already know that I can do hair. Everyone that follows me, they know the kind of hair that I do. They know the kind of hair that Francesca does. But I realized the people that were like kind of like on the cusp of like, do I want to go in? Do I not want to go in? They're like waiting for me to start like posting myself and having a little bit more of my personality out there. Where those like, okay, I like this guy. Like I like his energy, I like his vibe. Like I think I can go sit in his chair for a few hours. I'm gonna feel comfortable. And then that's when I saw a huge change. It wasn't really just about the hair content. It was like, who are they gonna come and sit with for the next 5 hours of their day?
right. That's
Yeah.
a big thing in our industry too. Is like we're like Amanda, we hang out for hours. Like you know what I mean? It's
You're
a
going to be
long
stuck.
time.
Yeah, you're
Well-
stuck
Yeah.
here. So,
So,
you
like-
want to like the person.
Exactly. You got to vibe, or else it just doesn't work.
Could you imagine if you didn't like your hairstylist, if you're sitting there for like 5 hours? Just like crickets the entire time. Terrible.
Yeah, it's not fun.
It's super true in your industry, but I do think this applies to any founder. And I think what people don't realize is your brain doesn't understand the difference between like screen time and like actually hanging out with someone. Right? It's the reason people cry when celebrities die when they don't like fucking know them at all, you know? And but no, dude, they see you do your hair 10 times and they're like, "Oh, that's my boy Zach." You know what I mean? Or like they see 7 reels of you and they're like, "Oh, my girlfriend," right? And that's why they come in and don't lie to me. Does this happen? They come in and they're like real warm, like they're your friends, and you're like, "Who the fuck are you?" Does that ever happen?
I've had someone like when I was out at like a restaurant, they started talking to me and like I thought I just forgot them like in passive conversation. And I was like, oh wait, where did we meet again? They're like, oh no, I follow your Instagram. And I'm like, oh, we've never met before.
Well, but they really feel like you're tight. They really
Yeah.
feel like, and they do, and they feel like they know you, and it makes such a big difference, really, for every industry, I think.
Zach, I do have a question for you. How often do you post? And you know what's the variation on the types of posts that you do? Just because it seems to be really working for you, and so I feel like that's a question a lot of people would have.
So as far as it goes, what I was doing in the beginning, I was kind of like only posting like as like I had a new content. And then I was realizing like I had like 30 amazing different shots of this like one client or like ways I could edit a video in all these different ways. And previously I was like, okay, I already posted this person, I shouldn't post it again. But now I'm just kind of like, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm throwing everything that I have out there. And it's like, I'm not going viral overnight. So it's like, if one post is better than the other, it doesn't mean I'm going to post like just once a day or like that one person at one time. I try to like now balance it between like me and then like having a client. And if I fall behind or I need more content, I will go back through and I'll just see how I have different shots or different videos of the same person. And then I'll just keep throwing it out there, because half the time when I'm posting something, half the followers are probably not even seeing it anyway. So if I post it again, new people are going to see it no matter what. And like when you go to someone's page, how often do you like scroll down and like really go that far back that you're gonna be like, oh, he posted her already a few months ago? You know, it's never gonna happen.
Well, I mean, I do that. Maybe I'm a weird stalker person, probably, but but I still don't judge if they posted the same person. That's not a critique that I would have. I think so, but yeah, I do scroll pretty far
No,
down.
I think reposting. I think reposting content is a super effective technique. So we use Heyorka to schedule our posts, and it actually has like a option as you're posting something like, do you want to repeat this? Right? Like you can be like, you can schedule it as you post to do it every 3 weeks, every whatever, and like do a bunch of
Oh,
it.
I didn't know you could do that. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that either. That's a good tip.
So do you guys do everything? Do you post natively only? Like, so within the, like, you focus on Instagram, and I know that. Is it just you post within Instagram, or do you have a social media software that you use?
I just use Instagram.
Yeah,
I also just learned though, which is funny, I'm not a Facebook person. I didn't think I had a Facebook. I just recently learned that everything I post on my Instagram goes to Facebook, because my mom the other day was like, oh, I saw your reel on Facebook. And I'm like, you did? Like, okay. So apparently I am also on Facebook.
So my general advice on this is, if you're making, like, obviously if you have unlimited time, budget, everything, it's like great to tailor the content for the platform. But as long as you're making the content anyway, post it everywhere. Put it on TikTok. Put it on.
They haven't done TikTok yet. They need to do TikTok. They haven't done TikTok.
All right.
We need to get
I'm,
on. I made my
I'm
account.
hanging up. I'm hanging up the phone. This is.
I
what are we
recently
doing here?
made an account, but I have not posted anything yet. I don't know why.
All right.
I don't know.
Hey, just while you're worried about what to do there, just whatever you're posting to Instagram, post it there as well, right? You can manually do it.
Fran, does this sound like advice you've gotten before?
Literally everyone has told me to do this. They're like,
Well, I need to do TikTok.
everyone,
Hold on.
like,
But even Pinterest, which is a sneaky one,
Pinterest.
even YouTube Shorts, right?
Okay,
Like
yeah.
post it. Do you have, I assume, a Google My Business for your location? Post it there. You can't do video there, but any static images you have, post it there as well, right? Like there's no such thing as bad visibility.
Any platform at this point.
Yeah. And you can grab a software to do it all kind of at once, or you can do them one by one.
Yeah, but specifically for you guys, like TikTok is a great network for you.
I know.
I would
Listen,
start there.
I slept on
Especially,
it. I slept on it too for a little bit because I thought we were going to lose it, but it looks like we're not.
yeah, I know everyone's been saying that, especially the kind of videos we've been making. Like we've been making a lot of content together recently, and like we made one the other week where we got this huge color order in, and we had literally like 50 boxes, and it took up our whole hallway.
Yeah.
And we made like a little 2-part series thing and put it on Instagram, and it did very well. It was like the most views I've gotten in a while, and it was just us like being weirdos. We were just being like, we just were recording literally for hours, and it took a while to edit, but it was just so funny. Just like the little things we were talking
love
about,
weirdos.
like. People love that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that was the biggest thing with social media, is like when I stopped over analyzing, or like I was always so nervous. I was like, okay, if I post myself, like it has to be like, I have to do this. I have to be like this, you know? And when I just stopped like rewatching everything, and I was like, screw it. Just go for it. Just post it. You know, whatever. We'll see how it goes. That's when I got the best like reactions from people.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like,
So it's funny. I think this is like a typical thing that trips up entrepreneurs. And I have a buddy, Billy, who's like a fitness, wellness, longevity guy. And he's got a ton of great content. But his best performing post ever was him like on a train in Europe, like eating a croissant. Not great video quality, not great sound, not great anything, and explaining how like ancient grains are not as tough on his stomach as gluten in America. Like it would have been a story if I had posted it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even have thought that it was like grid worthy, and it went insane. It got like 10 million views, like bananas.
Wow.
And so it's especially the better you are at what you do, I think the more you feel like what you put out has to be like life changing, and it's not like the most basic stuff, right? Like, hey, you should probably use conditioner, which like you're like, no shit. You know what I mean? But like something simple like that, ton of people are probably like, or especially like, hey, if you're a guy with short hair, you should still use conditioner because blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? That stuff that's like so no brainer to you is that a lot of times the kind of breadcrumbs you need to guide someone down and like really get into the stuff you're
And
sharing.
it's, or, normal and easy, like something that you think everybody knows to you, not everybody knows it,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There was a few months ago, I had just like randomly I needed extra content. I posted like a 5-second clip of me just putting a root touch up on. And within the first day, it got like 10,000 views. And I was like, that's the video that got all the attention and not all the other like videos I spent an hour like editing and like trying to make perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, people watch reality, like buying a home and doing a renovation are like two of the most annoying things to do in real life. And people watch reality TV about that all day long, right? Like the normal stuff that you do is magic to other people.
Yeah, I
Really
posted a
is.
video of me literally just flat ironing someone's hair. Same kind of idea. It was a 2-second clip. One of my friends that has a camera like recorded it for me, and it was just me literally flat ironing someone's hair, and it got like 12,000 views. And I was like, it took no effort, no thought. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you guys should have a couple cameras set up recording
we
nonstop.
always say that. We're like, we want to have like
Yeah.
a cameras just set up in the
I feel
salon.
like I need a GoPro just strapped to my forehead.
Yeah.
At this point.
So we both know you're not going to do that. Strap something on the mirror. Put it like just right on the mirror so it's watching you guys the whole time.
Yeah, you need that.
Well, also, like if we're talking about ideas, you guys are talking about process situations, like we're doing somebody's hair, doing touch-ups, whatever. You can do talking videos while you're doing that. People watch, like if you're just explaining anything about anything, it doesn't even have to do with, the touch-up that you're doing or the procedure, whatever. You just do it while you're doing that. It gets so many more views because they're interested in watching you just do the action while you're talking instead of just talking on the screen. Yeah. So.
Well, and then you guys said something interesting earlier, which from my side kind of like hits the intersection of marketing and deliverability, even though you guys were talking about your partnership, where you were saying you needed someone who had the vibe, but also had the work ethic, right? And I feel like it's so easy for people to do one or the other, right? Like I do probably too much on just vibe. Tell me more. Do you guys have you guys had a conversation about like kind of like core values for the businesses? Do you guys have anything like that set up, or have you dug into that at all?
I think we talked about it in the beginning, and we've gotten along so well. It's actually like it's beyond me. Like, it's just like instantly like clicking, and being the fact that we worked in the same building for a year. I remember saying to her, I was like, I'm actually thankful that we weren't friends before we jumped into this. Because like we could go into this as almost like strangers and like have like this structured like understanding of like this is our business, like this is our place that we're going to take care of and stuff. And there was like no fault lines of like, oh, this is my friend that like is moving in already. Like we had like a professional relationship first that just ended up to be a personal relationship and actually being friends afterwards.
And it was nice to see too, because we worked in the same building, just like on opposite sides. So we'd walk by each other every day, but never really spoke. But we could just kind of, without even having a conversation for a year, like we could just see how hard each other worked. You know what I mean? Like we both were always here with clients. We were both here late all the time. Like we both were grinding for a year, and we saw that in each other.
Like, I think it was like almost like 12 o'clock one night, and I thought I was the last person like leaving, and like I'm just grabbing the rest of my laundry and stuff, and I see her and I'm like, oh shit, this girl's here doing the same thing as me. And it's so rare that like you kind of see someone who's like really putting their all into everything that they do. And I just had so much respect for like everything that she was doing like that. So like once she like moved in, like I just knew it was going to be a good fit.
Yeah. Like he said too, it was like before we just like kind of, without even being friends or having a relationship at all prior, we just could see each other's drive and ambition and all that good stuff.
So it sounds like a lot of your values align organically, but I would challenge you to document those. And also, like just to have like a little session. And I mean, it doesn't need to be the final thing, but it's like kind of what you guys are going to live by. It'll shape and frame everything that you do within your brand just to have those values. And there are exercises for that as well, and we can talk about that offline, but
where it's really going to come into play is when you're hiring people, right? Because you want to be like, these are our values. This is what we stand for. Like you guys can I'm sure muscle through together for a bit.
Yeah.
But as soon as there's a third person.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Well, I personally always had the idea, and I know we talked about it, is that like instead of just hiring a bunch of people on board, I would rather organically grow a team where like I get someone fresh out of school and so does Francesca, and we train them. And like they work hand in hand with us, and then we get them ready and we put them on the floor, and then we give them a chair, and then we just like repeat the process where we can kind of build like this structure of like organically grown stylists
Yeah.
on our own instead of just having a bunch of like mishmash. Like it's you could open a salon with 10 chairs and I could just go grab 10 hairdressers. Be like, yeah, guys, come on, come work. But like, how's that gonna go? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like finding like people that are like, I think it's we're both very passionate like with what we do, and I think that's what's behind it. And I remember when I first started and I was working in New York, my boss said to her client, she's like, how do you find them? And she goes, Zach, who taught you before me? I was like, no one. I was like, I just like, I love it. Like, this is all I do. And she's like, exactly. Like, you just love it or you don't love it. And like the people that do love what we do, you can just always pick it up and see it through like their work ethic and like how they just like show up for like the day at work.
Yeah, but it's like it's also maybe as simple as like love what you do, work ethic. You know what I mean? Like it could be those
Yeah.
things, but like it's we find it really helpful because especially if an employee's like not living one of those values, it's like, hey, this isn't loving what you do. You know what I mean? Or this isn't the grind. You know, we call it hustle, but same thing.
The
So what is kind of the long-term plan?
long-term plan for
Yeah.
us. So right now, it's honestly crazy to think it's only been 3 months that we've been like together because it almost feels like so much longer than that. I don't know, but right now we're both in that same building that we started in, and right now we're just focusing on building our brands and clientele and kind of slowly meshing that together. Down the road, we definitely have some big exciting ideas, but for right now, we're just kind of focusing on building ourselves both independently and together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have had a lot of things that we've ended up merging together.
Yeah, we are very much merged.
Besides just like working side by side. I mean, just for reference, like I was in education for a very long time and I taught nationally, and Francesca was teaching for a Goldwell. And for me, I was looking to maybe stop using the line and keep enhance like the line that I was using for God knows how many years now, like I helped do the testing for like as it was coming out. So like that was like my bread and butter. Like I knew how it worked. But like once Francesca came over, we merged everything. I got rid of all my stuff, all my products and all my color. And like I took her influence and I brought in Goldwell. And so we're like, as we're going and we're like learning the steps, we're like also like merging everything as far as like work tools and things like that. And it's really starting to actually become much more like a partnership, like day by day with everything that we're doing.
Yeah, I would say like you guys are talking so much and I love this, that you're getting along so well. And I think that it's gonna be amazing. But I would say that it's best to have some of those harder conversations now while you guys are getting along so well, so that when, there is a little bit of tension, you can go back to those conversations where you have the things that are already figured out instead of trying to figure out things when there is the tension. So that's some advice. I mean, we've
Good
been,
point. Yeah.
Borzou and I have been working together for 20 years now. And so, hindsight.
It is. It's like another marriage.
I mean, I think tension happens with any relationship over time, especially when you spend so much time with someone. But what I have noticed is like we do like regular check-ins, and we had done it from the start. Like her first week, I'm like, hey, like, is there anything you want different? Have I done anything that like you're not comfortable with? And we go back and forth constantly. Where we're checking back in. Like, how are you feeling in the space? Where do you want to go with this? Like, so we have a really good understanding. Like instead of like having any tension building, we have this relationship where like the moment like one of us thinks of something, we just can straightforward say it.
Yeah.
I've told her, I was like, sometimes I'm a spitfire. I was like, if I'm going on too much in the salon, just look at me and say, Zach, shut up. Just like calm down for a minute, So we have a very good work ethic and like relationship together at this point.
Very good communication. I don't think I've ever had better communication with anyone actually, because I feel like we could just say whatever to each other at any time. It's very received on both ends, which is very, very nice to have.
So when you stop taking things personally and you just look at it from like a business perspective, which is going back to saying, thank God we weren't friends prior. We came into it as like this. If we were friends prior, like, it's your friend coming like, I didn't like this. See, it's very easy to get personal about something. But when it's someone who is a business partner first that you didn't have a relationship with, it's much easier to be like, okay, yeah, I can see that. I understand that. Let's work through this and let's go from there.
That's actually an old Rockefeller quote. Friendship based on business is better than a business based on friendship.
It's very true.
That's very true. I like that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
So, but do you think you guys are gonna do like an overarching brand at some point?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we decided to sign one more year lease.
Uh,
And I mean, like we're like FaceTiming at like 1 a.m. I'm like mapping out like this is what the salon walls are gonna look like. So we do have the idea that we're building and structuring of like opening something much bigger, and we know that there's a time's coming and much sooner than later for us that we're gonna.
But
have to do-
is it like a studio? Is it like multiple studios? Are we going national? Like, what are we?
Ooh, good question. Honestly, even when I was moving my stuff in here, we were like, that night, we were like, we've already outgrown it. We both have so much, we've just been doing it for so long, both of us, that we both have so much, have accumulated so many things. And being in this space, it's amazing for right now, but I definitely see us outgrowing it.
And I know there's some like survivorship bias here, but the most successful people I know, whatever advice I ask for, I'm like, hey, I'm looking at 2,000 square feet or 4,000 square feet of space. They're like, get the 4, you're going to need it. I'm like, oh, this person costs this much. They're like, get the more expensive person. Right. And it's like always foot to the pedal, like pedal to the floor. I'm like, it doesn't always work out, obviously. But I always kind of joke that like, a haircutter, it's not the best haircut in the world. It's not the cheapest haircut in the world, but they wanted one at every corner and they got it there. Even like Panda Express, it's not, it was whatever the closest family run Chinese restaurant is to you. It was that. And the kids were like, no, we should open more of these, and now it's everywhere. And I'm not like at all saying you guys should do that. I think especially if I was in your space, I would love kind of the one, but we're just curious if you guys had like thought about it at all.
For me, my whole thing with what I was doing was, so the name of my studio was Cache Petit, and it's French for hidden small, so hidden small studio. And I kind of wanted to be like the best kept secret in Boca Raton or South Florida. So like my idea of having like a salon open, like I don't want a salon where it's like jam packed, like station. I want to feel like my clients like personal lounge. Like they come in, like there's an area for them to go chill. There's like a coffee bar to go sit at when they're processing. I want them to feel like, okay, like I get to go hang out at this place. Like, how do I get in there? How do I go there? Like, I want it to feel like an experience instead of just going in where it's like mechanically, just like, okay, next person, and there's so many people around all the time. I want it to feel like you're coming in and you're sitting in my house for a moment.
Yeah, and that's exactly how, I mean, Amanda, you know where I was at previously, and that's exactly opposite of where I was. It was very like station, go. Like I don't have time to chat and giggle with you while you process because I gotta go do 2 people in between you while you process. And I literally just even saying that brought back a little bit of that feeling of anxiety. And I was so anxiety ridden for years, like having to deal with that. So I had this when we went out to dinner one night. It was like our first time ever hanging out, and he like told me that vision, and I was like, oh my gosh, I align so much with that because that's what I want. I want like we actually like what we do. We enjoy doing hair. We enjoy talking to people. To be able to create a space where everyone can come in and just feel comfortable and chill and not like you're rushed, and we can just make you pretty and have fun doing it. And I just aligned with his vision so much. And literally that night, I remember I got home and I called one of my friends and I was like, I love him. It's going to be great. Like, I vibed with that so much. So that's definitely the goal.
Yeah, that whole lifestyle focus place, it's really big now, a big trend in hospitality in general. They have their hotels now are not just, they're making it more of a place to hang, a place to stay, like even department stores, they're trying to do that too. But it makes so much sense for a salon. And I don't really know any that successfully do that.
Well, what we do is so personal. And to take something and a career that's so personal and touching someone and like then to just make it mechanical and like systematic, I just never thought that it went hand in hand. And I've worked in boutique salons and I've worked in huge salons at one point where it was like 40 something stylists. And what I always noticed was, and even being in the studio, the way that I was able to connect with people when it was a much more intimate space and there wasn't so much around, it changed the experience for the client. They open up more. We have deeper conversations. They don't feel pressured not to say anything because there's other people around. So having that opportunity to make someone feel that comfortable and having a little bit more of like a relaxed area, that would be like the ultimate goal for the next place.
Yeah. I feel like coming to a studio for me, like when I made that jump, not only did I feel like my clients were more comfortable, but I feel like everyone kind of got to know me a little bit more because I didn't have to put on this act almost every day going into this big building with all these people around and people hearing all your conversations. Like it was literally just you and your client. And it made it a much, much more personal experience. So to be able to put that into a salon setting and kind of mix the two, I think is the idea we both kind of have.
Yeah, well, and that's how you make clients rabbit fans, where they're like, "Yo, I got to have you on my podcast."
I'm a fan too. Oh my gosh, I love her.
Would you guys go all the way with this, and maybe go like speakeasy style? Like you got to even like know where it is to get in.
I wanted to people to be like, how do I get in there? Like you got in with them? How? Like I've been waiting for months. Like that's what I wanted to be, like the best thing in town that like everyone's waiting to go to. Like there's the Boca Raton resort here, and the membership I think for the year is like $100,000. And it's like, why couldn't I do that with the salon? Not saying the membership's going to be $100,000. Maybe one day.
It'd be a lot cooler if it was.
You never know. But like people, they gravitate to that, and they want to go there and they want to get in, and like that's the place to be when you're a Boca Raton, especially for in season. And it's like, why could I never take that idea and just apply it to what I do for a hair salon?
Well, you put a little. There's definitely a strong psychological link between price and quality, right? People assume if something's more expensive, it's better. I've definitely lost work because I've underbid on it, and people have been like, it must not be that good, you know? But that's kind of where the intersection of like branding, price theory, and like quality kind of all hit.
I have noticed for me, especially over like the last 2 years of going independent down in Florida, what I do is perceived value. Listen, I know that my prices are not the cheapest, but what I do know is like my quality is great. But what it comes down to is there's someone that will buy the $5,000 TV, but I don't watch TV, so I'll buy the $200 one, and I'm fine with that. So there's clients that are okay spending the $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for their hair extensions every few months, and they're fine with that because they see the value in it.
I have a buddy he's like 20 years younger than me. He's a great kid. I love him so much. And he needed a website, and he called me and he's like, "Hey, like, can we maybe like do a trade?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "But you're going to give me a roof for a website?" And he was like, "No, I thought I'd give you like $2,000 off." I'm like, "You're not getting a fuck it." Right. So I kind of like talked to him through how to basically DIY it like really cheap. And fast forward like 4 months later, I'm at like one of his sites, and he's got this huge tarp over the bushes with this logo on it. And I'm like, how much was that tarp? And he goes, $8,000. And I'm like, so you had more money to spend on that tarp than your website? And he goes, everyone sees the tarp. I'm like, you're not going to believe how many people see the website. He didn't not have the money. He just didn't value the website for some reason.
Yeah.
Which obviously makes zero sense to me.
But yeah, that's the thing. They put certain things at higher value. Some people might think spending $4,000 or $5,000 on hair extensions is crazy, but to people that are doing it, it's what makes them happy. So everyone just has their things that they put first, you know?
I'm sorry, I got to ask. We'll edit it out if you want, but Francesca, are we looking at real hair?
My hair? No.
It's real.
Yeah, it is. Oh no, it is real.
I thought it was. I was gonna say you're the reason they're spending $5,000 on hair extensions.
You moved in here, and I was like, we're giving you 30-inch hair.
Immediately we order the hair.
Yeah, I'm Persian. We always say that's like the gift and the curse. The hair is the gift and the curse. Like it's the gift up here, but it's like the curse everywhere else. So we're not a good client for extensions, but we're a great client for laser hair removal.
Maybe when you open your lifestyle salon, you will offer more services like laser hair removal.
Perhaps. Who's to say?
You never know.
You never know who we're going to acquire.
I will tangentially. I actually think those are like great partnerships to make, right? Like you find the facial place, you find the laser hair removal place, right? Like you find like 4 or 5 people and do like a little pod, right? Yeah. And be like, I'll send my motherfuckers to you. Like someone, again, same vibe, same work ethic, same culture. You know, where you're like complementary businesses, like someone who's spending $5,000 on extensions is definitely spending that much on Botox or Morpheus or whatever. You know what I mean? And it becomes a real easy way to cycle
Definitely.
kind of the same crowd. Because you know that the right, if the provider is a good culture fit, then you know the customer's also going to be the type of customer you want.
Right.
Yep.
Really nice. We've had some
That's the vision.
nice experience there.
Do you guys have any like last questions for us since you have us here and you have your emerging brand? I don't know. Just want to open it up. No's an okay answer.
I touched
Covered
base
a
on
lot.
We've
Yeah.
covered a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I think honestly, you've given us some great ideas. So thank you. Just like of how to curate all this, and like we're still very not new to the industry, but new with our ideas flowing. So it's all in the beginning stages, but it's like the most exciting time, I think, because it gives us opportunities to kind of form exactly what we want to create. Just
I mean,
starting with
I love this so much. I love any small business founder led thing anyway. And then you add it in, because I still consider you guys creatives, right? So you add in
Yeah.
the creative niche and like really having the opportunity to build something that you're passionate about and love and that is really like cool for you. And, I think you guys know like a lot of people just don't take this chance. And that's really what it is, right? It's the risk. And so like,
That's
I like you because you're Amanda's friends anyway, but I'm rooting for you guys. We're here to support you. And I think it's really cool. And we've seen a lot of the ups and downs. So I always joke that like nobody wants to be an entrepreneur on the dark days, only on the good days.
There's ups and downs with everything, but what I've noticed is like every time I've ever gotten comfortable with like building something or a brand, and I had the extra income, I didn't sit on it. I always pushed for more. Even coming into like this room, I pushed a half an hour north, and like I tripled my overhead in just rent. And I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing to myself right now. I might lose my hair over this, but we're gonna do it. And like,
You have your hair, Zach.
we got the hair. Fine.
the
Yeah,
hair's here.
That's one thing that is not allowed. Right?
I figured, I was like, you know what? What's the worst thing that could ever happen? I might as well take the risk instead of just playing it safe at this point. And it's always paid off.
Always take the risk. Always so worth it.
It's great advice. Even if it doesn't work out, I've discovered people, you still feel better knowing you tried.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Instead of always wondering what if.
Yes, exactly. I would rather regret doing something than not doing something, than have that regret that I missed out. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can always start over again. I mean, I moved from like 5 different cities and different states, and each time I had to start over. So like the idea of like starting over or like something not working out, I'm like, I could do it again.
Yeah.
I'll do it better the next time is what it is.
And it just like builds you as a person, not even as a business owner, but just as a person and life experience doing all that. I feel like the worst feeling ever is feeling stagnant. And I felt like that for a long period of my life until I did this and started my own business. And it was the scariest thing I've ever done, but the best thing I've ever done, because every day's a new challenge. But I love that. I love that every day is not the same. Like, let's just do it. So
I think that's a great way to end.
All right. Well, I will earmark for our next episode, depending on what happens geopolitically, starting over in a new country. We'll take it if we need to. But otherwise, it was great meeting you guys. For everyone following, we'll have them tagged somewhere, and stay tuned for more tips. Thanks, guys.
thank you so much. Bye.